Hey, good evening, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to Chicagoland Baseball Chronicles. And you know the business. If you woke up this morning, if you woke, you winning. What's up, Bill?
Hey, what's going on, Bo Rab? You at the chasing the fish, huh, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing it via Mississippi, y'all. Via Mississippi.
Be safe down there, man. Bring us back something good.
Yes, sir. We got a good show today, don't we, man?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We got a really good show today. We got Mr. Robert Fletcher. Currently, he's the athletic director over at Olive Harvey College, and he's also the college recruiting coordinator for the White Sox ACE program. So we're going to get a lot of great information from him that the kids can benefit from. Also, we're going to hear his baseball journey from JRW to Simeon Grambling State University. We have a lot of SWAC stories that we have been able to get out there, and I'm sure today will be no different. And on the Simeon piece, Rob is really unique because he's one of the guys who played with Coach
Absolutely.
Leroy Franklin, and he also
Absolutely.
coached with Leroy Franklin. Maybe we can get some stories about
Absolutely.
that
Yeah.
2012 city championship team. So why don't you bring him on, Bo, so we
Let's
can get
bring
right
let's bring
into
him
it.
on. Let's bring my boy on. Hey, Mr.
What's up?
Fletcher, Mr. Legend, what's going down, brother?
What's up, Ribby? What's up, Bill?
You, my
What's going
baseball
on,
brother.
Coach?
How you
Thanks
doing
for
today,
having me
man?
on the show, man.
Man, thanks for
Absolutely.
taking time out.
Absolutely. We appreciate you taking the time out to come with us, man. But I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna get straight to it. My baseball brother. How did you get started, man, on the south side? Just coming up, getting into the game, man. Tell us about it.
Actually, my cousin Alex Anderson got me started. My father, he was playing at Jackie Robinson. He lived right on 99th and Emerald, and he got my brother involved. So my brother tried out for the Oakdale A's minor league team, and he made the team. And then Mr. Wilson made him a coach, assistant coach, because he needed some help. So my brother made the team. So I didn't play that year. I think I was only 5. The next year, my pops put me on Johnny Burchett team. So I was on the Pee Wee Tigers. And then after that, I just rode. I played 2 years with the Pee Wee Tigers, played for my pops 1 year on the minor league A's. And then after that, Mr. Hammock snatched me. After my brother and Sean Hammock and Ronell Coleman, all them left his team, he put me on the Little League Cubs at 9, which was a big accomplishment, being 9 playing, with those guys. So
So you
started
come
out
up
there.
through the whole system. You come up
Yeah,
through.
yeah,
You started early,
definitely.
brother.
So I was 9,
Organized. Good stuff.
played on the Little League Cubs. Then that summer there was a trial for a 9-10-year-old team. Was that 9-10-year-old team? Yeah, it was a trial. No, the next year. No. Okay, so I played on the Cubs at 9. I got to tell this story though. So the Dodgers had the team. All right, Mr. Haley, if you got a good player, he might take your best player. Am I right, Bill? So
Well, I hear that a lot. I
Yes.
do hear that a lot.
Yes.
I'm keeping
Yes.
it 100 right here. So,
Yes. Hey,
so
hey, keep it there. Yes. I know how that go. I didn't play with the Dodgers.
so
Yes.
now
Go
look, the
ahead.
highlight of my little league, I was 9. We played against the Dodgers. And they had a boy named Darius on the mound. He was throwing gas. You remember Darius Bill?
Absolutely, man. I remember everybody.
Then they brought in Nooney. I got a
Mm.
hit off Nooney. I don't know how. I think I just ran into it because he was throwing gas. And that was the highlight of my little league career.
Yeah.
So then the next year, 10-year-old played, but at 10, they had a tryout for a Park District 10-year-old All-Star team. Was it 10, 9 or 10, Bill? 10 or
Yep.
11.
9 and 10. Yep.
Yeah, so I went and tried out for that. I think that was at 9. I went and tried out and made the team. Richard Haley was the coach. Made the team. We won all the games, made it to the championship. So I played in, I think that was 9. I played in White Sox Park at 9 years old. They had a 9-10-year All-Star. It was the city
Well, that was the
championship.
team. That was the
We played on
team that
Comiskey Park.
that was the team that Kenny was telling us about, Bill. Remember?
So
So
my
Kenny
team,
was
we lost. We lost in the championship. It was me, Mikey Irvin. It was a lot of us on that team. We wound up losing in the championship game. Then after that, the next year I went play with the Cubs. 11-year-old I played with the Cubs and I made the All-Star team, the state team. So that was it was an accomplishment if you make the All-Star team. Let me bag up though. So at 8, I played minor league, but that was the year 1983 when my brother and them made it to the Little League World Series. So that was my taste of the All-Star team. So on that team, you had Mac Irvin, you had Sean Hammock, Sam Johnson, Brian Street, Jeff Jackson, Ronell Coleman, my brother, Keith Burke. I was like the water boy on that team, you know. So that was legendary. Like the world team that just, won. They got a lot of notoriety, but this team,
Yes.
1983, won, and there was only like one little sentence in the Sun Times. That's when we was dealing with so much racism back then.
I remember that.
One little sentence.
I was
You know what
a
I'm
big
saying?
team. I remember that.
So yeah, that was big, but that's what made me really want to play baseball on a higher level. Following that team, being in the car with my old man, driving to every game, watching that team perform. That team, people don't realize that team lost a game in district over at Southeast, because they was cheating us. And a little altercation happened and everything. Lost that game. After that, they didn't lose another game, So that's what inspired me. Fast forward, Little League, 11-year-old made the All-Star team. We lost in the state. We won district, won section, lost in the state. The next year, we was really looking forward to that team. Richard was going to coach the team with Mr. Hammock, and then Richard passed. And that was all our favorite coach. Because he was young, we could relate to him. He talked junk to us. He taught us about hip-hop, but he was a real good coach. So at 12 years old, that team was me, Telly Mont, Leonard Knight, Kelly Armstead, Russell Romero. That team was a whip. But we won every game, won the state, went to region, and we lost in the championship game to Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Tough game. But just a lot of people don't realize all the racism that was going on there.
Absolutely.
Back then, we used to stay with host families. So we won district at Gately. I think district was made at Gately Stadium. Section was at Hegwish. State was in Beardstown. So we went to Beardstown. Host families, great time. Parents was friendly to us. Because we was the only all-black team. We was always the only all-black team. There really was no blacks on none of these teams. But when we got to Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska, I don't think those people was expecting a little black team to come. So we didn't get treated too nice, even at the host family. It wasn't a good experience, So I think that may have been a cause. We wound up making it to the championship and lost in the championship game. But I really feel if we had a better experience back then, as far as where we were staying while we was there, I think we probably would have won it, After that, 13, 14, went to Jackie Robinson. Then I went to Simeon. And that's
the good part.
That's when everything
It's the good part.
I didn't know where I was going to school. It was Simeon, it was Harlan, Julian. My brother was a football star, Julian, so everybody thought I was gonna go there with him. And then one day, Brian Street, who was my brother, one of my brother's best friends, told my mama, bring him over here with me, And I used to hear about Simeon, good team, but, everybody's crack jokes. It's a warehouse and this and that, That was the best move. And my daddy ain't want me to go there, but my mama pulled rank and sent me there with Street. And that was the best. That changed my life, man.
Absolutely.
Being around those guys, just so happened that's the year Jeff went first round. I met Sean Lizzie. I knew Sean Lizzie, but he was a sophomore.
So this was 1989?
This was fall of 1988.
88. Okay.
Came 89. That's when they graduated.
Okay.
So we was on Frostsoft. Me, Quentin Lee, my best friend, he was already going there. And I wound up going at the last minute. Coach Franklin got me in. And that year, that team that we was on, Frostsoft team, won the city championship. Actually, the first city championship Simeon has ever won on the sophomore level. That was 1989.
Mm-hmm.
But we were seeing so many. Coach Hamp, and Coach Ron.
I just want you to tell it. I know who the coach was. I want you to tell it. We got I got a picture of him right up over my head. I want to give him his props.
I was Coach Frank recruit. And
Absolutely.
And Hamp gravitated to the kids that that came up rough. You know what I'm saying? He kind of looked at me like a silver spoon kid because I had my father, mother. You know what I'm saying? But he gravitated towards the kids that didn't have anything. You know, so I had to kind of win Hap over because I was Frank recruit. So I had to prove myself to Hap, which I eventually did. And hey, me and Quentin Lee ran that team with Angelo Lee. We won the city championship. Varsity was supposed to win it and lost in the semifinals. But that year you got Jeff Jackson, Brian Street. They both got drafted. Jeff went first round. First time ever seeing pro scouts like that, you know. Every day,
Right.
pro scouts out there seeing those guys.
Daily.
So, every day. So Jeff,
Mhm.
the one who that just got the buzz, so everybody want to go pro, you know. So Jeff went first round, signed for $185,000 at 17 years old, you know, which was a lot of money. That's like to today's, you know, 2-3 million. That's what that was worth back then, you know. So then fast
Absolutely.
forward, Jeff and all them gone. So I'm a sophomore, and me and Quinn Lee, you know, made varsity. But we was playing with a bunch of draft picks on that team. First baseman was Ant Richardson. He wound up getting drafted by the Mets. Second baseman was Craig Hawkins. Rabbit grew up in Jackie Robinson. I grew up with him. He went 6th round by the Twins. The junior shortstop was Sean Leslie. He was only a junior at the time. He wound up going 1st round with Houston the next year. And the third baseman was Darren Sky Davis. He went 5th round by the Mets. I mean, this team was loaded. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I was on the bench. I was DH sometime. And but then right before the playoffs, my guy Q Lee, he was kind of messing up in the outfield. I never played outfield a day in my life. And Coach Frank said, go out there. I was like, Coach, I never, you know, he started, get your ass out there, boy. You know what I'm saying? So I wound up playing left field in the semifinal game against Prosser.
Wow.
Made my plays, didn't get a hit, but I was battling up there, and it motivated the other guy. They like, little Fletcher up here trying to battle. We wound up beating Prosser, went on and beat Sheriffs in the city championship game. I started in left field, so that was an accomplishment. Because that year, actually, me and Quinn Lee played varsity football that year. And we played in Soldiers Field. Me and Q probably one of the few people that played in Soldiers Field and Wrigley Field on the same school year.
Now, when y'all guys went to won the championship, was that the game the catcher, y'all had a catcher, he hit one out the park, didn't he?
No.
That wasn't him. What year?
This was 1990. That was the year we had a fight on the field.
Okay.
Rabbit had a fight on the field. The shortstop took him out real hard, and it was a fight and everything. Yeah, no, that was that was classic there, man.
Wrigley Field, right?
Wrigley Field, 1990.
Yeah, I was there.
We won like 8-3.
I was there.
Yeah, I got to hit that game too.
That was a good game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from Simeon, you left there. I know colleges were looking at you because you were all city, you was all section. Got a few of them. You fell in line. And how did the college get? How did that look? And how did you select choosing where you went?
Well, you know, of course, everybody wanted to get drafted. You know, so senior year, Sean had just went 1st round the year before that. So senior year, it was supposed to be me, Sean Liz, and Ronald Davis. We were supposed to be the potential drafts. You know, and I just quite honest, I had a slow start. All the scouts was there. And that's why I tell kids now, you got to perform when they come. They was there. I didn't perform. Joe Bowden performed. Ronald Davis performed. I didn't. I had a slow start. Probably was worried about the scouts too much. Then I didn't get it going until like the second half of the season. Then after that, it really was over. You know what I'm saying? So I had 4 scholarships offers. I had a partial from Michigan. I had a scholarship to Grambling, scholarship to Southern Baton Rouge, Alabama State, and those 4. What I say? St. Joe's also, the D2 in Indiana. And you know, back then you didn't pick your school to probably like after graduation. So I didn't know where I wanted to go. I talked to Kadar a few times, talked to Coach Ellis. I knew Coach Franklin really wanted me to go to Grambling because he went to Grambling, but I honestly I didn't know which one I wanted to go to. And, funny story, what kind of led me to Grambling was a damn video of TLC, Baby, Baby, Baby. That video T-Boss had on the Grambling sweat top. And I thought that was Grambling. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go there, man. True story, man. I wound up picking Grambling, though, but it was a good move, though.
TLC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, man.
What was your experience like with Grambling? On the field, off the field? Was that as a youth, did you go south or going down to Louisiana? Was that a bit of a culture shock for you?
It was a culture shock.
Okay.
Being from Chicago, never being in the South, it was a culture shock. The culture shock really was that the people are genuinely friendly, In Chicago, you don't speak to people. I went down there, people saying, how you doing? I'm looking around. It's a funny story. I told I got there, everybody speaking to me. So I go down there looking like a real Chicago guy. I got the LB glasses on. I got the herringbone on. I think I'm fly. And I told my team, man, like, I think these dudes, they keep speaking to me, man. I think they scared of me because I'm from Chicago. He was like, dummy, that's Southern hospitality. I didn't know that.
They do it when you driving. When driving past, they waited. They do like this when you're riding past down south.
Yeah.
So you had to let your guard down a little bit and get in with the program, huh?
Definitely. But I started 3 out of 4 years at Grambling.
Okay.
Freshman year, I started. I didn't start at first. I was on the bench like most freshmen, And just so happened my pops came down there to see me play. We was playing Jackson State at home, and then we was playing them again on the road. So the first game was at home, and I didn't play. The next game was at Jackson, and they started me and DH'd me and led me off. And I went 2 for 3. Mike Lynch was on the mound from Chicago, Corliss. He was throwing some cheese. I went 2 for 3 with a line out. And shit, they ain't take me out the lineup. I went on like a 14-game hitting streak. So that's what I tell kids, when you get that opportunity, man, you got to make the most of it.
Absolutely.
Now, if I would have went 0 for 3, there's no telling when I would have got another opportunity. That's just how I go in these sports. So I went on and DH'd the whole year. The second baseman got hurt in a couple of key series. I got to start against Texas Southern. Went like 5 for 8 for the series. So I had a very good freshman year, man.
And did you stay down there during the summer, or did you come home? So back then, what did you do during the summers for playing ball?
First year I came home. Let me see. You know what? I came home that year, but I was young. I had the birthday. I graduated high school at 17. So actually that summer, I came home and played with Jackie Robinson. We usually play with in summer ball, I played American Legion ball for Mr. Graggs.
Absolutely.
But that year, I was only 18 because I was young. And all my guys I should have graduated in 93. My mama put me in school early. So I should have been with my guys, Telly Monty and Charles McGraw and all them. So that year I came home, your old man, Mr. Haley, put a team, now this is the only person that could have pulled this shit off. Mr. Haley put a team together and had Rick and Coach Franklin as the coach. 2 people who hate each other. But that's the power that Mr. Haley had. So I played on that team. It was me, Telly, Jeff Winters, all of us. We played on that team. Was the big league team, Bill?
17 and 18.
17 and 18. Played on that team. And we was in the tournament. We did some tournaments in Peoria and then played. And I wound up hurting my ankle. So I didn't even get to play when we played in the playoffs.
Okay.
I hurt my ankle. So that was it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so now you're back down at Grambling. I know you had several awards down at Grambling State. How did your career down at Grambling end up? Did it end up on a positive note?
Yeah, it definitely did. Sophomore year it didn't though. We're gonna be transparent. I fell in love. Let my son mother come down there, and got overweight. Didn't play. Probably played 6 games.
Okay.
So I went from freshman year being run up freshman of the year in the SWAC to playing 6 games because I got overweight, let her come down and all of that. My mama stopped talking to me because I let her come down there, which she was right to do. You know what I'm saying? So I had
You
to get
saying your son's
refocused.
mom was right or your mom was right?
My mom was right, but you know
Okay.
what I'm saying? I was out of order for that, you know. So basically I blew that whole year.
Okay.
I didn't get in shape until the season was damn near over, you know.
Well,
But
you
yeah,
know, for college, a lot of it is it's an education in the classroom, on the field, and outside the classroom. So it's a time for, you know, we're trying to make that transition.
so then, you know, you blaming everybody like they messing me over because I'm from Chicago and this and that. So I called my favorite coach from Jackie Robinson, which was your cousin, Pete,
Mm-hmm.
Red. You know Red Barrett?
I play ball with Red.
That's,
I know
that's
Keith
my man.
Robinson very well.
He taught
Very
me so
well.
much. So I'm
Hmm.
on the phone complaining to him, call him collect, complain they messing me over. And he just really went off on me, man. He said, you need to look in the mirror. He said, you bring your girlfriend down there, you fat and out of shape, and you think they supposed to play you? I got off the phone with him, was like, whoa. I really looked in the mirror and really had to do some reflecting. I was 20 years old. I really was
Absolutely.
19. I was 19, but I had to do some reflecting because I looked up to Pete and I knew he was going to tell me the truth.
Listen, I
And
never knew that you played for Pete.
yeah, I played for
I
Pete and
just, I
Bill.
just, I just learned that. I didn't know that Pete was the coach. I played with Pete with a Kirby Puckett, Mike Williams, Stan Davis, Brian Neighbors, all these cats that you probably don't know, but Bill knows them very well. They were my big brothers. I caught up with them later on, and I remember he was coaching, and I,
That was
I'm not sure. I remember him winning like a state championship or something. I'm not sure.
We actually
I
lost
thought,
in the section. It was 13U though. It was me. Bill was the
okay.
coach. That was the team. It was me, Telly Mont, same guys. Charles McGraw, Leonard Knight, Russell Romero, you know.
So you
so
got back in shape down there. You got
hell
it
yeah, I
together.
stayed. So for Bill to Bill point, so I was supposed to come home for the summer, you know. So I was down there and sent my girlfriend back home. I'm at school and she tell me she was pregnant. I was like, whoa. Like, all right. So my plan was to come up to Chicago and go get an abortion. Take her to get an abortion. I was supposed to drive up to Chicago. The 2 days before I was supposed to drive to Chicago, I had a dream that I came to Chicago and got killed.
Mm.
And that was around the time. Remember the time the little Yummy got killed? It was real wild in Chicago.
Yeah,
It was
right
Buck
over
Wild. Yeah.
Summer of
107th.
'94.
Yeah,
Yes.
It was
Yes.
right at
real
the
wild.
viaduct.
Very
So I
well.
didn't come. I was like, all right. So then she was gonna come back. When she came back, we was gonna have an abortion. Got back, we wound up not having an abortion, and that's how my son Bo is here. He's supposed to be here, man. You know what I'm saying? But that year, I sent her back. She had to go to Chicago. Like I got to focus on baseball. I could have lost my scholarship the way I played the year before. So bottom line, I got back in shape. And then coincidentally, one our third baseman. So I was gonna play second or short. I was gonna bounce around. I didn't know where I was gonna play, but I was in
Mhm.
shape. I'm ready to go. Our third baseman had a bad car accident, punctured a lung and everything. He was the returning third baseman. So they moved me to third. They say you can play third. I'm like, nope, but I'll play it because I want to be on that field.
Get on the field and get back
Yep.
get back in the heat.
So I played third with a second baseman glove and made all SWAC that year. Hit about 340, something like that.
Okay.
Was MVP of the team. I had a
You
great
got it
year.
together. You got
Yeah.
it together, dog.
Resilient.
Yes, sir.
Came home that summer, played with my son was born at March 1st. Came home and played with the Oreos.
With James and
Yep,
Rick.
yep, yep, yep.
Grant
Played with them.
Crossing.
Uh-huh. No, actually we played behind Simeon that year.
Oh, okay.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Good business. Two good friends of mine also.
Yeah, they were some good baseball guys. So
Yeah.
but now my son is born, you know. So I'm like,
Responsibilities on the team.
yeah. My old man, like, please don't. Make sure you go back. Go back. He thought I was gonna quit and get a job so I could take care of my son. So
was that a consideration for you, or how did you balance those two choices? How did you balance that?
it was rough, man. It was rough,
yeah.
but it was rough. But I knew I had to get my degree. So that summer I played ball. I was a business marketing major at Grambling, so I needed an intern. So I used my Jackie Robinson connects. I was trying to get an intern at Luster Products. So, those are people. So Precious Luster, he was like, man, I can't get you as an intern. I'll get you a job. So I was on the assembly line for like 3 weeks.
Right.
Working at Luster Products on 47, in the morning.
Absolutely.
Putting pink moisturizer, pink lotion, whatever that stuff, putting that in the bottle, And I was there with Precious' son because his son Corey was down in Grambling with me. So I did that for 3 weeks. And then Mr. Haley came through for me. He got me an intern at Aronson Furniture as a salesman through Nash.
George Nash.
George Nash.
George Nash.
So I left there, and I had a sales intern out at Aronson Furniture, one at Revokes. Did that, and then still played. Had the balance plan, getting some games in, and selling the furniture. Yeah, I went back to school, ready to go, senior year. Finished up good. I had some independent league officers. They had an agent who was trying to get us some independent deals. But independent league, you don't really make no money. And I had my son was born.
Okay, Absolutely. So real responsibilities on the table at this point. Mm-hmm.
So it was like, okay, you're gonna play. After my senior year, the age was like, I got 3 teams that I could place you with. And it was like, am I going to go try to do this? You playing independent ball to try to get to a minor league team.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Still trying to get to, what I'm saying, to the majors.
Right. You added it up.
The odds ain't not in your favor. My son was born. He was 1 year old. So it was like, okay, I got to come home and, be a father.
So now it's time to change your leaf, and you got into coaching, man. Now tell us about this the legendary journey here, because this is where you this is where you do some real damage at, man.
So it's funny, my coach at Grambling, the assistant coach, James Randall, Sap, he played in the big leagues with the Sox. He was like, man, you're gonna be a good coach one day. That's because I was a student. I was always a student of the game. I was a guy who had talent. It was other guys that was more talented than me, but I worked harder than everybody, and I was smart. So I knew the game. So he told me I was going to be a coach. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. So then after it was over, though, after I graduated at 21 from Grambling, and it was time to get a job. Bo was born. I got home. I had to graduate in summer school, though. I graduated 4 years, but it was the summer because my senior year I played as Cap Alpha Psi. So I wound up, failing about 2 classes that semester online. So I had to take those classes in summer school, So I graduated July 12th, something like that. Was home for about a month. And Bo mama like, man, I'm doing this all by myself. You got to find a job, this and that. So I'm like, man, what I'm going to do? So I went down to the Board of Ed. I said, I was trying to, I was a business marketing major, so I'm trying to get hooked up with IBM. Was Kersey at IBM then, Bill?
Yeah, he sure was.
I gave him my resume. He was trying to get me there. Sent my resume to a couple of people, wasn't anything shaking. So I was like, I could at least go down here to the Board of Ed. Everybody was subbing. If they had a degree, you go down there and sub. So I went down there, was going to the sub office. But then I remember down at Grambling, I met a alumni who he spoke at our alumni baseball game. And he said, I'm the assistant CEO of the Board of Education in Chicago. Any of y'all get y'all degree, come see me, I'll get you a job. And that was Dr. John West, who was Coach Franklin, a classmate down at Grambling. So I'm like, okay, so I was down there with my resume going to the sub center, and I remember like, wait, dude said, come see him. I went to go see him. It's just funny how these connections work, right? I went to go see this man. I asked the lady, where's Dr. John West's office? She told me it's on this floor, whatever. I go to his office. He the assistant CEO of the whole board. He the assistant to Paul Vallis. So I go talk to the secretary like, yeah, I'm here to see Dr. John West. And he's like, okay. And then she called him. You know, he in his office. Like, yeah, you got somebody here to see you. And I guess he was like, who? And I said, Robert Fletcher. She was like, Robert Fletcher. And I guess he like, who? I said, tell him Robert Fletcher from Grambling. I said that. He said, bring him right in.
So a lot of times on the show, Rob, we have guys who go down to the SWAC and play good ball, play good competition down there. But that SWAC and that HBCU experience turns out to be a really big networking opportunity, a great historical, cultural opportunity for you being in the SWAC. And it sounds like the same thing happened to you being down at Grambling. Maybe if you had chosen St. Joseph's, I don't know if you had that John West connection.
I wouldn't have, man. I got so many connections from going to Grambling, playing baseball, Pleasant, Cap Alpha Psi. I mean, I could go to any major city in the United States and I'm going to have somebody I even played baseball with or somebody who in my fraternity, and I'm going to be good if I need some help, you know. So
and then you have that HBCU experience. I know Bo has the same experience, and we're going to probably touch on this a little later in the interview. But so one of your roles right now is you're the college coordinator, placement coordinator for the White Sox ACE program. So maybe a little later on, we're going to find out how that kind of connects when you're trying to place kids in colleges. So we're going to put a pin on that one, Bo.
Okay.
Right. So
but
now,
fast forward, Dr. John West got me a job. I tried to get him to get me a job at Simeon. So I went to him. I said, I need a job, Doc. I said, I got a degree. I said, my baby mama tripping, saying I need a job. And he was like, okay. He said, can you do some accounting work? I said, yeah, I majored in accounting at Simeon. I got my bachelor's degree in marketing. He said, all right, go down and see this man and tell him I said, give you a business manager intern. Just like that. I went down there. I tried to get Simeon, but Simeon already had an intern. And I was like, they was like, oh, the principal for Marcus Garvey just was in here. I said, that's my old elementary school. Well, I got up there at Marcus Garvey, and Mr. Haley, I think, had just retired before I got there. So I got at Marcus Garvey, and Frank was like, all right, you're going to coach. So he put me with Coach Hamp as the process
instantly.
I was
so
22 years old.
We come full circle.
I was 22 years old, coaching Simeon, the business manager at my old elementary school.
Right, that's full circle there.
And the sophomore coach at Simeon.
That's good stuff.
I mean, that was. You know, I look back, I'm glad it happened like that. A lot of people get degrees and business degrees and things of that nature, and they come out corporate America and they kind of lose touch, you know. I went to my old elementary school, and I'm seeing kids that's little brothers of people I went to grammar school with at Garvey, or they little brothers or they kids, you know what I'm saying? So it kept you grounded, you know. Then I went to Simeon and I'm helping them kids. It was my purpose. I was put in the right place, you know.
Outstanding, bro.
Great.
Very, very outstanding. So while you're at Simeon, you're back on familiar ground. You won there, and then there was another team that you were assistant coach with, that 2012 team. That 2012 team really made a lot of noise. City championships. What kind of memories do you have? Maybe you can kind of combine. You won a city championship as a player, then you come back and you coach the city championship team in 2012 at Simeon.
Well, so I won as a player twice. Cross off 1989, varsity 1990. 2000, me and Coach Hamp, sophomore team, won the city championship.
Okay.
And that was only the second championship. So that means I was a part of the first one as a player, and I was a part of the second sophomore championship in 2000 as a coach. So that was a very rewarding team right there. Then fast forward, the 2012 team, that team, it was special because that team was like put together. So I coached Simeon from 97 to like 03, I think 02, something like that. Left
Mm-hmm.
and started travel baseball with my son, Bo, when he was 8. So when Bo was 8, me and Big Ro, Ronell Cole, rest in peace, we decided to take our kids to play some travel ball. We was playing at Jackie Robinson West, and we heard travel ball was the new thing. So me and Ro put our money together. We paid for the uniforms, paid for everything. We was playing in the West, and we put our team that was called the Black Barons with Todd. We had Nick, Mook, Quentin Richardson, John Tate, some more guys, and we put a travel team together. So Bill was like, all right, my old man don't want y'all doing travel, but I'm gonna let y'all do it. Just don't tell him. I'm young. I'm 24 or something. I'm thinking Mr. Haley don't know we traveling, right? So we played under the Morgan Park Black Bears. Put this team together. Went around. I mean, this the grind about this travel baseball. To make this work, luckily I got off work at 3:30. I had to go pick up like 4 kids.
Right.
These parents put me on their kids' pickup list. You know what I'm saying? I had to go pick up Q he went to Cook. Jonte went to the Christian school on 91st. I just had to pick up like 4 kids to pull this off. You know what I'm saying? And fast forward, that team, we was losing, but we introduced the travel ball. So my son was 9. I let him go play with a team called the Oak Forest Storm. Next year, he played for the Sparks. He was only blacks on the Sparks, you know. At 11, I put a team together. I took like 5 of the best players from Jackie Robinson, 4 of the best from Roseland, started a team called the Upper Deck Cougars. Well, the Upper Deck Cougars was already in existence, but the head let me put an all-black team under his name. That team went on. That team had Corey Ray, Darius Day, Marshawn Taylor, Anthony Ray, my son. It was Jerry Houston. That team was loaded.
Yeah, you was loaded. You were pretty loaded.
We went and beat all the top teams. The Sparks, Homer Heat was good back then. New Lenox. That team went 72-13. Made it to the USSSA World Series at Disney. That team was phenomenal. All right. Beat everybody. All the top teams. The next year, team did the same thing, went 58-11. So in 2 years, that team was 130-24.
Wow.
So we had to break a lot of barriers because people wanted used to seeing all black teams. So we basically that team set the tone for what's going on right now in the travel baseball. All right, so I'm like, I'm gonna take this whole team and we gonna go somewhere. Had them all go to school, the same school. I didn't know what school. I was at the time. I had a house in South Holland, so I'm like, all right, maybe we'll go to Seton, go to one school. They got a field, this and that. Then I'm like, everybody not gonna be able to afford to pay for Seton, you know. So I said, man, I'm gonna take all these guys to Simeon. So me and Coach Frank had a plan. These guys was only like 6th grade at the time, I think. Like, all right, I'm gonna take all them to Simeon. But I had to go back to Coach Simeon. I went back 2 years early, and just to prepare for them to get there, so I could already be there when they got there. So I had Quentin Richardson, Nick Collins. They was freshmen on the team with Simeon, with Troy, all of those guys. Steve Florence, probably one of the best years I saw somebody have ever that year.
That's my man, Steve.
525, all legit hits. Probably got 2 cheap hits the whole year, you know. So took that team. That team lost in the semifinals or something to Whitney Young. But long story short, it was time for that group that I had since 9 years old, 10, 11 years old, got them in Simeon when they was freshmen. So that was Darius Day. No, Darius wasn't even there. Corey Ray, Marshawn Taylor, Boogie, Darian Clifton, my son, a couple of more guys. First year, all those guys played varsity except my son. Next year, as sophomores, that whole team. Plus, we already had Blake Hickman was already there. All right.
So what year are we talking now, Rob, when the kids are sophomores? What year are we at now?
Sophomores,
Is it 2010?
It's 2011.
2011.
So Quentin Richardson's senior year, Marshawn, Darius, they sophomores. Shane was on that team. Shane is a junior. That team was loaded. We
Yeah,
lost
it
in
was pretty loaded.
that sophomore team. The 2011 team was supposed to win the city championship too. We lost to Harlan, which gave Kenny his first and only city championship. We lost to them in the championship. But Shane had hit a ball on the warning track. It was a bomb. And Canans King went and dove on the warning track.
And caught it. I was at that game.
That basically saved the game. That he don't make that catch, we would have won 3 championships in a row. But fast forward, now it's 2012. Blake Hickman is a senior. Blake Hickman and Shane are seniors. Darius, Marshawn, Corey, my son Bo, they juniors, and Elbow and Darius Day is a sophomore. That team was loaded right there. They beat Marist, they beat St. Lawrence, they beat everybody that year.
Okay. And then those guys go downstate, they go down to Springfield?
No, we lost. So we won the city championship, went all the way through, and lost in the section semifinals.
Okay.
No, the super section. Lost to Marion Catholic 1-0.
Yep.
0-0 game. It was played at the Crestwoods. 0-0 game.
At the minor league stadium, yeah.
Yeah. Somebody made an error on first base, a pop-up. That guy got on, stole second, got to third in it. I think he scored on a ground ball or something. We lost 1-0. But that team, Blake Hickman was on that team, who Blake was the first ace kid to go to a Power 5 school. He signed with Iowa.
Iowa, okay. So let's just let's dig into that college. So right now you're the college coordinator for the White Sox Ace program. A lot of outstanding players come through the system, looking to either get drafted or more than likely looking to get a college scholarship. In the whole idea of placing kids, I imagine you're recommending kids to colleges and recommending colleges to kids. How does that work? How does that whole process work?
Well, the key is we had the teams, the players playing in front of the right people. So you have to be in the front of the right tournaments where the college coaches are going to be there to scout.
Right.
So at this point now, the ACE program, we get invited to a lot of invite-only tournaments. So we only really want to go to, when we go out of town or whatever tournaments, we try to go to the tournaments is going to be heavily scouted. A lot of these tournaments cost like $3,000, $3,000, you know. So the bottom line is we put the kids in front of everybody they need to be in front of. But it's up to the player to perform. You know, I can't pick up the phone and call Corbin at Vandy and say, I got a kid, give him a scholarship. It don't work like that. You got to perform. Everybody is in front of these coaches, and you got to perform when it's time to perform. You got to hit. You got to have tools. You got to perform. You know, so that's the bottom line. And then the game is changing now. You got the showcases now, and then you got the college camps. So back in it when we first started this, 3-4 years ago, the college camps was just a money generator. That's how they pay their volunteer assistant. Now they are actually giving kids scholarships from these camps now.
Okay.
So the game it has evolved so much.
Yeah.
Over the years.
And right now you are at Olive Harvey, you're the athletic director too, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I retired.
So I know the city colleges missed a year due to COVID. There was no activity, but the kids are back on the field. What sports do you guys offer? I know there's a variety of sports that you offer over at Olive Harvey. What do you guys have? We
have volleyball, we have men and women's basketball, and we have baseball. I'm planning to add women's soccer.
Oh wow!
And men's volleyball for 2024 year. So I'm gonna hire a coach this year for next year just to recruit. And then the following year we're gonna have women's soccer and men's volleyball.
So there's a lot of opportunities for kids to come in a variety of different sports and continue their athletic careers.
Yeah, definitely.
As your decision, so you retire from the board of education, and this opportunity opens up for you at Olive Harvey. Is this something that's been rewarding for you also?
It's been very rewarding. It's really been eye opening because, like, even with the ACE program, we pushing the kids to 4-year schools, and you in the ACE program, the way the program has evolved now, we're dealing with a lot of kids that have good grades, come from good homes, things of that nature. And then over here is back in reality check. Like, you got kids, so this they first time anybody in their family ever going to college, you know what I mean? Or without this opportunity, they don't know what they might do. So it's rewarding to see these kids. A 2-year degree, I used to look at JUCO a little different, honestly, but being over here, you look at it, a 2-year degree, it's a great accomplishment, You can go be a police officer and with a 2-year degree. You go be a fireman and make a whole lot of money,
Absolutely. It's a jump start.
Yeah.
Do 2, you can do 2 more. You
can do 2 more, you go on with your career. I got a girl on my women's basketball team who's graduating in May. She already passed the police test.
Okay.
And she passed the physical test, the written, everything. She just waiting to graduate, and she's gonna go in the police academy. So it's all about changing lives, man. It's all about helping these kids be successful in life and being productive citizens and being able to take care of their family.
That's what makes you. That's what makes you a legend, brother. That makes you a big time, a true Chicagoland baseball legend. And give me 3. We're gonna round it out, but give me 3 big names outside of JP that you helping out right now that's in school that's doing something. JP, everybody know about JP in Minnesota. Give me 3 more. Give me 3 right now, man. If we just gonna know, man, we'll just roll it off your tongue right quick, man. Some of these kids that's getting down, man.
Yeah, you got Kyle Sally, who's left-hand pitcher at Georgetown. You got Cam Buford, who's shortstop at Grambling. JP doing his thing. Kendall Ewell, Eastern Kentucky. You got Trey Hondras at Logan. It's too many, man.
Yeah.
So we all know who JP is. We all know who JP is, guys. Man. Let's put JP's name out there so people know.
Marquise Jackson at McClellan. His Marquise Jackson.
Yeah, he's okay. Where is he at?
Junior college won the World Series last year. D1 World Series. He's at McClellan. JUCO.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, you got a bunch of them out there. That's why I just wanted to put it out there.
We got 77. It's 77. It's 77 former ACE kids that's on college rosters right now. That's playing.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's
an accomplishment.
That's
when we first started the ACE program, when Kenny and them, because Kenny and Rowe and Nate, they started. I came in a little later. And we started with one team. Kenny used to take the uniforms at the East game, and you'll have to get a phone call if you're going to get the call to play the next weekend, So, and we, all we was able to do was send kids to the SWAC, Grambling, Southern, which I love the SWAC, but one kid, Christian Hickman, was like, why we don't have the opportunity to go to the other schools, And now they do. These guys paved the way and made the people at the PWIs feel safe and feel that our kids can play and can conduct themselves as good citizens, and they're getting the opportunity to play at those schools too. So that's the conference, just to have the option. I love kids playing at the HBCUs because the experience is unbelievable. But kids like Kendall Pettis at Oklahoma starting out there. I mean, it's got kids all over. You know what I'm saying? Ro Coleman played at Vanderbilt, won the College World Series, and was runner up.
Yes.
Corey Ray, Louisville, and went first round and signed for a lot of money. It's a lot.
It's much different than the stories that we were getting in the past. And we did one last week and I keep it 100. It was Arizona State, and they treated a brother up here real bad. And he threw almost 100 miles an hour. His name was Mike Top. We did him real tough. But man, we appreciate you coming on our show, giving up this information. You are a true Chicago baseball legend. You keep doing everything you're doing, Rob. You my baseball second baseman brother. Kept everything going, kept everything going in the direction you did. You
Yeah.
always showed me love, and you showing these kids love, man. And I personally will, I appreciate it, man. You keep it up.
Absolutely, Rob. Thanks
Thanks,
for
man.
jumping on with us, man, and sharing your stories, the ups and downs, how you kind of navigated everything with the kids, with your own personal children who doing an outstanding job. Bo, one of the things that my family does is the Richard C. Haley Scholarship Foundation. Rob played for my brother Richard, and
Right.
Rob is a huge supporter of that foundation also. So it's a lot of things that he's doing out front, behind the scenes, and he's really making an impact for a lot of kids. And that's really kind of sums it up right there, man. We really appreciate you
Outstanding.
jumping on with us, Rob.
Man, the
Yes,
time
thank
went
you.
so fast, man.
Too fast, too
Yeah,
fast.
it goes fast. You gotta see, you guys, hey, you doing it, man.
I could
You
talk about
doing it.
baseball all day, man.
We got to bring him back,
Yeah.
Bo. We got to bring him back.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do, because he's one of the, when we do an episode with Simeon, since we can't get my man Frank some kind of
I'm gonna
way,
get them
we're
for
gonna
you.
have
I'm gonna
you
get them for you, Bo.
make it happen, man. Cause
Bo
it
Rab,
won't be right if we don't get him.
you the Simeon historian, Bo. You from 80, you from 87 on down, and I'm
And you
89
got
on
the
up.
rest. And
Me
you
and you,
got the rest.
we the
And we
Simeon, the
got him.
second baseman, man, the second baseman.
That's how we do it, baby. Hey, man, love you very much, man, and thanks for coming on
Hey,
the
thanks
show,
for having me,
man.
man.
Appreciate you, bro.
I
All right, deal
appreciate you,
love.
man. Peace. Yeah, that was pretty good, man. That was pretty good, man. Yeah, that was a pretty nice show, man, you know.
Yeah, I appreciate Rob jumping on. I think we still live, bro.
Yeah, we definitely still live.
Okay,
We're
okay.
gonna close it on out, y'all. If you woke, you winning, y'all. If you woke, you winning. Peace on out. All
See
right,
everybody
Bill.
next week.
Yep.